Welcome to the Alaska Santa Fe and Pacific's Model Railroad. Well, the next thing to do is to take this little bag of screen, I get these from Temu, and unroll it. Pretty stiff stuff. It's a stiff little screen wire. But you unroll it, get it spread out. It's a 10 by 20, I believe, or 10 by 25 millimeters. And so what you do is once you get it rolled out, you try to flatten it the best you can. Then what I do is I take these 1, 2, 3 blocks and I lay them down and I kind of iron with them, pushing down slowly and gently to kind of spread this thing flat. And then I fold it the other way and do the same thing. You're never going to get it perfect, but you can get it pretty nice. And so you just keep doing that until you get it worked out to where you don't have any curls in it. What I try to do is bend it one way and use that to kind of iron it down. Anyway, you just want to get it flattened out so it's not all curled up like you originally had it. So that's about as good as you're going to get it. Okay, hang on. Now you're going to cut this. Let's see what I do with my long ruler. Walked off. Oh, there it is. Okay, this stuff is 10 millimeters wide, so you want to cut this in half lengthwise. And you want to use a fairly sharp X-Acto knife. This is just about a new one. So let's see how it works. Okay, so you measure over 5 millimeters. Like I said, it's already 10 millimeters wide. So you break it into two pieces. 5 millimeters by 5 millimeters. So there's 5 there. Alright, try to get it as exact as you can because it's going to be half and half on your fence. So once you get it at 5 millimeters equally, you want to hold the screen with your hand and the ruler, and you want to push down on this thing pretty hard. You take your X-Acto knife and hold it against the ruler. Hopefully I didn't let it move. And you just keep doing that. Till you cut through it. And when you get down to that point, you can just fold it over. Boom. 2 pieces. So that's how you get the screen. Now the next step, as you saw, oops, I had my foot sitting on the camera. You take this grid that we made, hopefully you can see it, and you can lay that down. Don't even have to have it on this anymore. I just leave it there just because it's there. But get a piece of your screen wire and kind of straighten it a little bit more if you can, so it's not curling too bad on you, like that. And as you can see, it's not as long as the piece that you want. But what I try to do is not worry about that. I actually overlay it and super glue the 2 pieces together. But you got to remember, this isn't a perfect thing. You're just trying to get something that looks like reel. So I look and see which edge looks the straightest, not much difference. So then I take my super glue. I use 401, which is a Chinese glue, or you can use the iron glue from Amazon. I get that too. That works pretty good. But you can see I'm just putting a bead of glue along this one edge, and I start off trying to get this edge squared up with the railing and the top of the rail, like that. Try not to overlap it too much. And then I take these little clamps that I told you about. Let's see if I can do this. So, hard to keep it in one place, but these clamps don't seem to stick too much to super glue. So I just put a clamp there. And another one down here. And then I try to get this other end lined up. And this super glue dries clear. You can't even hardly see it once it's done. Kind of a neat glue. You can even put it on top of the face and squeeze it through and you don't even hardly see it. Anyway, get this lined up on that edge. Put you another clamp. These little clamps got a little groove in them, so they kind of help keep it in line. So then you go down the way, and I usually just put a nice little bead right here and right there. Put my clamps back down on it. I think I already had some super glue on this one, but I'll put some more on there. And then you get that side done. I usually spin it around. And I'll put some super glue. You know, that's not working too good. It's pushing it out. Let's see here. Put a little bead under here. And you'll have to probably glue it a couple of times after you put it on like I'm doing, because it'll either won't glue or it'll come loose or whatever, so you have to come back and do it again so that the screen stays good on this stuff. You can't solder it on because it's aluminum. Aluminum and brass don't solder together. But you can see I'm just going down the road here, and I'll come back and I'll glue it against the bottom after this road dries. You can only do so much at a time. One more. So once you get that done, you just set it aside and let it dry. You will come back to it again, and we'll have to probably tack it a few more places. Okay, so here's one I did earlier. Let's see how well it stuck. Like I said, these little plastic clamps don't stick real good to that super glue, so you can pop them off pretty easy. I got these clamps from Temu as well. I'm a Temu fan. I know a lot of people don't like them because they're Chinese, but what the heck? Tell me where else I can find this stuff cheap and I'll buy it. So anyway, you can see there's the first piece. I got to come back and probably glue it some more, but it stays together pretty good. So now what I'll do, this piece I have to trim off. It's a little too long over here. This is my 9-inch section of fence. So I'll end up cutting that down. And once I get all these glued and put together, I'll come back and spray paint them with silver so they're all, the posts match and everything else. So that's how that's done. After you're happy with the glue and all the screen setting, you lay it down and spray paint it silver on the back side first, because that's the part that you really want to cover up. Then you just flip it over. Let me grab my can of paint. Boy, hang on a minute. There we go. Gotta have 4 hands to do this kind of stuff, I swear. Anyhow, you can see there's still brass showing on this side, so you just flip it over and just lightly hit it. Hit the parts that you need to. And then I just go over it real quick with a couple splashes. Anyway, that's what you get when you get it spray painted. Now we'll let that dry. And that'll go on the other piece. And then once we get that done, we'll show you how it gets mounted. Thanks for watching. Come back for part 3.